In today's session of Visual Jforex, we will be continuing to work with the indicator named Commodity Channel Index. This is the third part, and in today's session, I think we will be able to complete the sell side, and with that, the whole algorithm will be complete for the trading on the underlying instrument. In this case, it is going to be Euro USD, but if you want to work with the different instrument, you can do that as well. So now let us head to the Visual Jforex board, which has been developed by the Dukascopy Bank SA. In our prior two sessions, the development so far has included these instrument subscription, then the position amount was defined at 0. I also got this 4-hourly CCI indicator block and also of different time periods including hourly and 15 minutes. All these are going to be used in conjunction with each other. So you can say we are using layering of different time periods to come to a point of the trade execution where we will have more favorable outcomes. The the probability of ending up in profit should be more than that the possibility of making losses. So this is all to that end. To look at the price action, there is a get historical candle, so 4 candle amount is also being used, and to retrieve the individual components of this from this array of data, this loop viewer will be used. To look at the immediate price action, the 15 minutes candle will come handy, and then to pinpoint the exact entry point, these 10-second candles. I had used this calculation expression to define the condition that there should be good enough momentum in the underlying instrument. For that, we have set the condition in this case for the Euro USD that last 4 candles high and low of the 15 minutes should be more than at least 12 pips. Let me check. I think minimum pip value is 12 pips. Yes, it is. So this is going to be the condition that there should be enough of price momentum. Pardon me. Now, coming to this setup for the execution of the buy trade, we have defined these conditions where the last 4 hourly and hourly CCI should be below 0 and then below minus 100, and for the 15-minute time period, the crossover should happen. The CCI value should rise above 0 from below 0. And other two conditions, as I said, we need the execution of the trade to happen only when there is enough of price momentum on the bullish side. So these two conditions, and then to pinpoint the exact entry, this comparison is being done between the 10-second candle and the last 15-minute candle and this market open block. Okay, now the focus is going to shift to the construction on the conditions for the execution of the sell trade. So I will briefly explain to you how the logic is going to work for the execution of the sell trade. In case of buy, we were looking for the oversold scenario. In case of sell, we will be looking for the overbought scenario where we have already seen significant price momentum, and now we feel that some sort of reversal is more likely to happen. So these will be the instances where we will be looking to execute the sell trade. So the first condition is that on the 4-hourly time period, we should have the CCI value above 100. So as you can see here, we do have the CCI value above 100. So this fits the bill. Then next condition is going to be that on the hourly time frame also we need the CCI value to be above 100. And then comes the next part of 15 minutes where we want the trend to reverse, and the value should dip below the 0 from above 0. So somewhere here that is happening around 22:45 GMT yesterday. And I think we also have another condition that there should be enough of price volatility, and I don't see that condition is getting fulfilled here. So because of that, the trade might not really take place. But somewhere here we might have that condition of the price volatility also in place. So we will have to see if this might have been instance of the execution. So this is how the system is going to work. We'll have multiple layering on the CCI, and then also to look at the immediate price action, we are relying on the 4 15 minutes candles cluster, and also one last historical candle of 15-minute time period. So now we head back to the Visual Jforex board where we don't really have to carry out any fresh calculation. This condition defined in prior session will hold good. We will be using these values using the if block to define the condition. First we start with the CCI. I will take a couple of these if else blocks, and then we will fill up the first input, second input values. We are going to need 18 all if my count is on the mark. Okay, so here we get started. CCI 11, which is retrieving us the last 4 hours CCI value, should be above the 100. So first input greater than second input, then CCI 12 should be again above 100. First input greater than second input. Then we want CCI 16 and CCI 17 to cross over from bullish territory to bearish territory, and for that the marker is going to be 0. Last 15 minutes CCI value should dip below 0, so first input less than second input, whereas the penultimate candle CCI output value should okay, this should be above 0, first input greater than second input. Okay, so we are almost done with the CCI requirements. Now we shift our attention to the price volatility, and in that case we need actual pip difference between the highest and the lowest value to be more than 12 pips. So in this case, first input greater than second input, and then we also want that last 15 minutes candle's closing value should be below its opening value. So candle 19's close should be below its opening price. First input less than second input. First input less than second input. Okay, now it's the time for execution, and for that we have to point the entry point, and which is going to be whenever the price starts to dip below the last 15-minute candles closing value. And for that we have to do the comparison between these three, candle 19, candle 21 and candle 22's closing values. So I will take candle 19's close as the second input in both these blocks and compare it with candle 22, and first we will take candle 22. Its closing value should be above this candle 19 candle close. First input greater than second input, and then candle 21 close needs to be less than candle 19 candle close. Okay, now we bring in open at market block. What happened? It's taking too much time. Let me try for different blocks. I think there is some problem with connectivity, most probably. Server errors. Let me try one more time. There seems to be some problem with the platform. Still unresolved. So I think you have got the point. So all you need here is to bring in the open at market block, which is going to be just like this. The configuration is going to be the same. So now that we are encountering problem with the platform, I won't be able to take the help of fresh block. So here, instead of buy, you will need to put in the sell side, and you will have to take this block and join it just below this if else condition, where we want the candle 21's candle close to be less than the candle 19 candle close, and then you bring in the open at market block and place the sell order with the configuration being the same, which will get us the risk reward ratio of 1 is to 3, as our stop loss is going to be of 7 pips, whereas the take profit is going to be of 21 pips. So with this, the session is also coming to an end, and prior to that, I think we should do the systematic arrangement for these conditions and join it below the multiple action so that it will be easier to understand whenever we will be looking at the same formation later on. after this block, we will need to use the open at market block, which unfortunately I'm not able to add because of the server error. So here the color coding is complete. Let me try one more time if we can add it. Oh, fortunately enough. This is going to be first input less than second input, and this is going to be sell order. Default instrument will remain as it is, but trade amount I will make it 0.1 million depending on the in your account. You can change this. Stop loss is going to be of 7 pips, whereas the take profit is going to be 21 pips. Okay, so that's all from my side. Thank you all for joining in, and see you next time with a new indicator and the new setup. See you next time. Till then, goodbye.